apparently Trump's is going to tape a thing with Joe Rogan. Do you think she should do that?
I think that she should keep calling Donald Trump a fascist. And I think that Americans need to keep looking at the rhetoric of Donald Trump, because I don't know why we're even thinking about electing somebody who's talking about putting people in camps. I don't know why why we want to elect somebody who's talking about mass deportation. I don't know why we're having this conversation about somebody who wants to terminate the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election. Aren't we supposed to be a patriotic country?
Wow, isn't that interesting? And this fool wanted you to honestly believe that he was on the fence about voting for the almighty Kamala Harris. And everything that they repeat on in and regurgitate is all garbage. Why don't you give it context? He's talking about mass deportations of who? Of criminals that have illegally come into this country, that are living off the government, that are up in high-rise hotels and all that, while Americans or veterans are sleeping on the streets. So why don't you talk about that? Talking about camps. There will be no camps. They want to scare you. That's why they came up here with the Hitler and he's going to terminate the Constitution. They realize their candidate is no good, and now they are completely turning on one another because they don't feel like the messaging is enough. Look at how bad it got to where even Anderson Cooper couldn't take it no more.
Whenever somebody like Colin Kaepernick takes a knee in this country, everybody talks about, oh, that's so unpatriotic. But a guy can say he wants to terminate the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election, and nobody cares.
And
like even me bringing it up now, you brought it back to Kamala and Joe Rogan. Anderson?
Yeah.
Who gives a damn?
Well, I mean, I think you give damn who's elected president, and
yeah,
I'm
especially
asking
if that
you.
president is a fascist. That's talking about putting people in camps. That's talking about, once again, terminating the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election. That's talking about, jailing his political opponents. Yeah. Like, that rhetoric doesn't scare people.
Well, we talk about this every single. This is what
I don't think
I've been talking about this every night.
I don't think y'all have enough conversations about it. I feel like I heard more on this network about is Kamala Harris black than I do about, Donald Trump being a fascist.
Well,
am I wrong, Angela?
Honestly, that's bullshit. I'm sorry.
Oh, I like that.
I'm not. Look, I'm a huge fan of yours.
Okay.
Oh my, the panic is real. They saw that town hall and it was almost, I was talking about this in the video before, like the debate with Joe Biden just right out there for everybody to see who he really is. After they hit him some magical way for 3 years, people were able to see him clearly. The same thing happened on the same network to the almighty Kamala. She just crashed and burned, and Anderson was actually there helping push her right off the ledge. So you can already tell that there's that animosity right there. But here you go with Charlamagne claiming that they're not doing enough. And even Anderson just goes off like, that's all we do. That's all they talk about. They don't talk about nothing else. They don't cover anything else going around the country. It's just Trump, 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 Trump every single day. All right, the next newscaster, Trump, Trump. That's all they do on repeat. And this clown Charlamagne is telling them it's still not enough. We want more. I know that's what you guys deliver 24/7, but can we go to 25/7? These people are just deranged. They're just out of it. Instead of talking about their candidate and how their candidate has no policies whatsoever and cannot speak a coherent sentence, that's why they're in this mess. I'm telling you guys, they are going to regret the day. If they could go back and get a time machine and bring Joe back, somehow say that, he was under some heavy medication during the debate, whatever, let's pump him up with some Red Bull, let's put him back out there, they would go back in time to, she is worse than Joe. Joe could answer, all the questions would be terrible in the way he would answer, but he's at least going to answer those questions. She's given softball questions and she cannot perform. So you have people like this Charlamagne, who's supposed to be talking to the black community and basically saying, it doesn't matter if she can't, talk and she can't tell you about what she's going to do. This man's a fascist. He's going to stop the Constitution. It's all these scare tactics. Like, ignore that she hasn't done anything. Ignore the fact that you are worse off, that you're in debt, you can't afford rent, you can't afford a car payment, your insurance is smoking. Don't even go if you go into the grocery store, it's like getting jumped. It's literally like as soon as you grab that grocery cart, you just feel like you were in a Rocky movie or you're just getting beat on. That's what it's like going to the grocery store nowadays. For anybody that's actually, just stay away from there if you can. I order it online if you can. When you walk in, it's just nothing but problems. But this is what they're running on. Ignore all this stuff. I know we didn't deliver for you. I know you're worse off, but think about the alternative, the mass deportations, and you realize they never give it any context. He's not talking about getting rid of everybody. People that came into the country illegally, taking from his, why doesn't he stand up for his black community? Where's he at for his black brothers and sisters, right? She's a sister. That's what Obama and everybody's been telling us. Why don't they step up for their community? Look in Chicago, look in New York. They are having like soccer fields or football fields or rec centers. Go look it up in Chicago where they have completely renovated it, kicked the people out, and put the illegals in there. So why aren't you talking about that? He's talking about deporting the people that should not be here and starting with the criminals. He's talked about this ad nauseum, but he knows that already. But instead of talking about, man, she needs to do this, this, and this. This is why the polls aren't in her favor. This is why the whole town hall was a disaster. Anybody that you ask that's objective, even the Democrats are saying the same thing. Why not come out and say, man, she needs to do this, this, and this. He should be able to get beaten because of this. Nope, it's never nothing on her. It's just ignore what's going on. I know it's a train wreck. Just close your eyes and go to the polls and vote like this, like you've been voting for the past 100 years, and it never pays off for you. But hey, we got some free weed for you guys. Oh man, we're gonna forgive your guys' loans. We're gonna forgive the business. So how did that turn out when they told you they were gonna forgive student loans? Or how they're gonna do reparations? They lied to the community on repeat, and you got clowns. I'm even gonna call them a sellout. You got clowns like Charlamagne, these people that go on TV and just stay just dancing for me. Come on, we gotta fall in line, guys. Other than that, when else have you seen this dude? It's only when election time comes up and they need to have that pre-programmed message. Get in line and do what you're supposed to do, and we'll see you in 4 more years. That's exactly what it is, and it's a shame. But y'all let me know. You guys tell me, what's real? Is the problem that Trump is a fascist and all this stuff, or the problem is that they have the worst candidate in American history?
Not a joke.
Period. I don't care. Go back, even with Joe in 2019, 2020. She is the worst candidate by far, and they're mad about it. Or maybe I just don't see things clearly.
Well, there was a lot that was done, but there's more to do, Anderson. And I'm pointing out things that need to be done, that haven't been done, but need to be done.
So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, I will catch you guys on the next one.